Next, we move to the Middle East and a story of a presidential election that has implications far beyond the country's borders. That's coming up in this week's In Depth. The world's attention focused this week on Iran's presidential election. The winner of the race was hardline conservative incumbent President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. The Iranian economy is worsening, with inflation running at more than 20% and unemployment surpassing 10%. Iran's leaders have taken a hard line on its nuclear program, isolating the country from the international community. Why was he re-elected? Will the results change Iran's future? In In-Depth, an expert will join us to look at the issue. A landslide in Iran. Official results announced on Sunday show President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad re-elected by a large margin. The country's election commission says Ahmadinejad won 62.6% of the vote, while his main rival, Mir Hossein Mousavi, had just under 34%. By the way, voter turnout was 85%, the highest ever. But the results are being contested. Mousavi is alleging widespread irregularities, and thousands of his supporters have clashed with police. Earlier, we asked Naeem Karimi, our reporter in Tehran, how people are reacting to the election and to the allegations. Naeem, what is the mood in Tehran right now?
There have been some angry scenes on the streets, Michio. I have seen numerous clashes between the police and Mousavi supporters who are protesting what they claim was ballot rigging by the president's men. The text messaging service used by opposition supporters has been shut down, and at least 7 reformist websites have been blocked. We know of 3 newspapers that have been banned, and have also received word that 10 prominent reformists were arrested last night.
What exactly are these allegations about election fraud?
Mr. Mousavi made the allegations at a press conference on the eve of the elections. He claimed that many of his monitors had been expelled from the voting stations and that there was a shortage of ballot sheets in areas where Mousavi enjoyed wide support. There were also reports that ballot stations were closed while people were still waiting in line to vote.
Many people were predicting that it was going to be a tight race before the election. How was Ahmadinejad able to win so comfortably?
Well, despite his unpopularity in urban areas, Ahmadinejad has been very successful in attracting voters in rural areas and cities far from the capital. The president was able to draw on a strong base of support in the countryside. I've been talking to people in the Ahmadinejad heartland to find out why.
In contrast to urban areas where people are chafing at the high prices and lack of jobs, rural areas are benefiting from generous economic measures adopted by the Ahmadinejad administration. They were benefits that the president highlighted during his election campaign. This promotional video shows Ahmadinejad visiting the industrial city of Arak soon after taking office. He promised to build cleaner factories in the heavily polluted city and respond to environmental problems. The video says the president kept his promise to Arak.
همه شهرها و همه روستاها باید آباد بشوند.
This is how Arak looks today. The city is not only home to modern factories, but also an athletic stadium and a new hospital.
We never had a hospital as large and well equipped as this one.
Ahmadinejad's campaign office in Arak. Every year, the office is said to receive 250,000 letters requesting help from the president. Appeals ranging from public works projects to personal job placement.
He's the only one to have done this in Iran's history.
Rahim Shariati was one resident who wrote to Ahmadinejad. He had been living on welfare benefits but was unable to pay the rent or his wife's medication fees. He sent a letter asking for help while the president was visiting Iraq. 1 week later, Shariati received a payment of $1,830 from the president's office. That's about a year's worth of welfare benefits.
Ahmadinejad is dedicated solely to looking after the welfare of poor people. I will vote for Ahmadinejad.
That kind of support can win elections, and it was people like Shariati that gave President Ahmadinejad such a large share of the votes in Iran's rural areas.
Naimi, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was Naeem Karimi in Tehran. Now here in the studio we have Iran specialist, Mr.